Hi, my name is Rylee MacLennan, and for my AP research topic, I studied the effect of personalities on illustrations in the classroom. As a high school student, studying personalities in the classroom gave me a better understanding of how students think and complete tasks. Research taught me to problem solve, investigate different theories, and cultivate new ideas. The key to a student understanding the material in the classroom is based on a teacher and student relationship. This idea cannot be stressed enough. For example, I work best when I can connect on a deeper level with the teacher and understand the expectations throughout the year. My research was solely based on finding better ways for students to succeed in the classroom based on their personalities. Research also taught me that through all the analysis, rejections, laughter, and overall craziness, the outcome is a better understanding of who you are and who the people around you are. Personalities are a fascinating thing. They impact our social interaction, schoolwork, and even family life. I would describe myself as a very outgoing person. I'm very social, enthusiastic, and very talkative. All these traits determine how people perceive me and how I perceive myself. Now, on the other hand, has someone ever been to an art museum? Yes, we all have in 5th grade about 5 times. Well, when you go there, there are beautiful and elegant pieces, like Starry Night. And others go for $21.6 million, and we have no idea why. Both of these drawings have specific aspects that influence the artist to construct them this way. This idea led to my research question. To what extent, if any, does personality types have on a high school student's ability to illustrate a basic image to aid educators in teaching strategy determinations? The idea of this research was to find an easy, identifiable test that teachers could administer to students to alter teaching styles and create a better learning environment for the student. In order to complete my experiment, I needed a personality test. I chose Personality Differences by Donna Dunning. She indicates 4 personalities, 2 of which determine thought process, and the other 2 determine decision making. The 4 personalities she identifies are logician, futurist, realist, and champion. All 4 of these personalities have different aspects that make them unique. The next thing I needed to do was choose the drawing that the students would draw. I chose a tree because it is an easy illustration, yet has many interpretations when drawing it. I then made these 4 categories of the trees that the students would draw. To begin my experiment, the students completed the Personality Questionnaire. The questionnaire consisted of 30 questions with 2 possible answers for each. Once the questionnaire was completed, students had 30 seconds to draw a tree with 5 lines or less. Here are some of the examples of trees drawn by students here at Erie High School. I then needed to categorize these trees into the categories I made earlier. Now, some were easy to categorize, and others were not able to be classified as trees. I then conducted a t-test. A t-test determines the extent of difference between the personalities and the drawings. However, my data was inconclusive, meaning 66% of my data was inconclusive, meaning that my research did not support the notion that drawings can reveal personalities. After completing my experiment, I realized that the application of my research would be difficult to enforce in the classroom. How would teachers use multiple teaching styles for individual students and their personalities? Although my experiment ran smoothly, I did have limitations. My biggest limitation was that personalities vary in situations and that people cannot be conformed into one personality type. This assumption negatively impacted my experiment. This assumption also influenced the idea that students could be using multiple personality types during the experiment. For example, a student could be using a realist personality type to understand the instructions I gave, while simultaneously using a champion personality type to determine what tree to draw. The next limitation I had was the environment during the experiment. Although students were in a classroom-controlled setting, talking did occur. This talking could have influenced persuasion on how to complete what type of tree to draw. This meant that the students weren't using their own personalities, but the ideas that they were influenced with their other peers. The next limitation was lack of gender accountability. If I were to account gender as a factor in my research, I could have investigated this more to see if there were significant results based on whether the individual was male or female. Now, this next limitation, I bet teachers can relate to on a personal level. Although my instructions were very clear, some students did not write their names on the questionnaires. This meant I could not correlate the questionnaire with their drawings, meaning that I had to reject their participants in my experiment, meaning that my sample size was limited. My last limitation was the personality type test I chose. Although Donna Dunning is a qualified psychologist, her test proved difficult to use during the experiment. Because her test was divided into two categories, them being thought process and decision making, it was difficult to replicate in quantitative form. This means I had to create a simpler t-test, meaning that my data was not as accurate. Although these limitations negatively impacted my overall experiment, they also furthered research into other topics. My research did not support the notion that drawings reveal personalities. However, it did shine light on the effect of personalities in the classroom and the importance of them. Further research into how personalities work in the classroom and their effect on students could not only help students in high school, but in college as well. Additionally, further research into what factors influence drawings could induce drawings to be used as a therapy tool in the classroom as well as in the workplace. Finally, a recalculation of my data by other researchers using a different drawing or a different personality test perhaps could induce different results. So, as Bruce Lee would always say, always be yourself, express yourself, have faith in yourself, and do not go out and find a successful personality type and duplicate it. Thank you.